Good day and welcome to Monday Sport Rep Show. I am your host Jesse Jackson Kauraitha, and in today's show we can take a look at the latest sports news and reviews of the weekend, including interviews. And now for your latest on the hit list. Olympic silver medalist Christine Mboma and veteran long-distance runner Helalia Johannes are among those that will represent Namibia at the 2022 Commonwealth Games in Birmingham. Namibia National Olympics Committee (NNOC) on Friday announced Namibia's team to compete at the Commonwealth Games, with some of the potential medalists in the mix of things. This year the Games will be taking place in Birmingham, England from 28 to 8 August. This time around, Namibia goes into the Games with a number of debutants, while only a few makes a return to the Games. It will be the first ever Commonwealth Games appearance for athletes such as Christine Mboma, Daniel Paulus, Andre Retief, Ivan Gladenhuys and Mohamed Bok. It will also be a debut for Alexandra Skinner, Ronan Vantana, MK Jakow, Henrik Kugel, Devin de Ploy and Jason Afrikaner. Other athletes to make their debut are Ronan Vantana, Romeo Goliath, while veterans such as Helalia Johannes and Jonas Juniors will attempt to add to their accolades. Top Namibian prospect, that is 400-meter specialist Mohamed Bok, said this was what he has been working for all his career. Head rugby coach of Namibia, Alistair Coetzee, is hopeful that a fully fit squad to consider for vital semi-final clash against Zimbabwe in the southern French city of Aix-en-Provence on Wednesday night. Debutant left-wing Divan Rousseau suffered a concussion after a knock to the knee during Friday night's 71-5 win against Burkina Faso in Marseille. No ligaments seem to have been damaged, so we remain hopeful that Divan could be ready for our next match. We came through the match without any other serious injuries. Torsten van Jarveld and Rohan Retief got hit with fingers to the eye, but the end result was not too serious. The weekend drop is up next after the break. Stay tuned. Namibia's only team amongst a very strong field of tug-of-war warriors managed to impress and surprise at the African Tug-of-War Championship after they upset South Africa's future Springboks by beating them in the semi-final to clinch the bronze medal. The team that also represented the city of Windhoek in the club division managed to dig their heels deep against the South African youth team, who already took 2 gold medals during the 2-day competition and who nearly beat the overall champions in the first round and eventually drew rope into the winning position twice. The jubilation of the Namibian team members was quite evident when they realized that they had won. Even though they struggled during the competition, Zimbabwe won the gold medal in that competition. Namibian kickboxer Hirukevi Muhipa was crowned as the new Desert Storm champion in the junior division, while Francois Buys from South Africa clinched the senior title. These title fights were the highlights of 3-day Desert Storm IV championships held in Walvis Bay over the weekend, where 135 athletes competed in mixed martial arts, kickboxing, as well as jiu-jitsu, both the GI and no GI forms. Muhipa managed to pocket the win by points when he defeated Zimbabwean fighter Walter Chiteto during a 3-round bout in the ring. We have interviews for you. Stay tuned.
Okay, with me here is Ferdi Basson from Mixed Martial Arts South Africa. Now we find ourselves here at Desert Storm 4. Ferdi, tell us, what is your role here at this competition?
Okay, so it's a 3-day event. The first day we had mixed martial arts, and that's what my role was here. I'm coming to help the body to do their first event. I also came to train up some of the officials so that the officials from going forward, they can have their own events. And then tonight I'm helping out on the kickboxing side as well.
Yeah, awesome. Now, you just said you're here to train some officials. Tell a bit about your accolades, your titles.
Well, I won't say it's accolade titles, but I've been doing this for a while, officiating at MMA. So a couple of years ago, I attended the IMF training for this, and then subsequent to that, I've been doing training for the local guys for Africa, and since then I've just been doing training all along. So I mean, I've refereed at 2 world champs. I'm also a pro referee for EFC and Brave. So yeah, I think that gives me a little bit of a gap to know what was going on.
Exactly.
So yeah, so I'm trying to impart all that knowledge that I've gained to the local officials as well.
Awesome. Now we find ourselves here in Walvis Bay, Namibia. How would you say is the standard of mixed martial arts here in Namibia, or Walvis Bay specifically?
So last night we were 3 countries here. It was Namibia, it was Zambia, and South Africa, and it was really, really good. The title fight was the junior featherweight title fight, and it went 4 rounds. Normally, when the gaps are too big between countries, you don't get to the. And a lot of the fights went the distance. The title fight went 4 rounds, so it was evenly matched. The crowd was on their feet, and that's what it's all about. We do this for the athletes, but ultimately we do it for the crowd as well. So if the crowd enjoyed it, then we know next time we have an event, we will have double the people that we have this time. And the event after that, double that, and that's how you grow the sport.
Awesome. Now, for someone that's watching now that has no idea what mixed martial arts is about, what would you tell them?
Mixed martial arts, it's a combination of, and I hope I'm not going to offend any sports if I leave them out, but it's a combination of boxing, wrestling, judo, jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, Muay Thai, all of that rolled into one, and that's what we do. So you're trying to get the best techniques of every mixed martial art or martial art style out there to be incorporated in one sport.
Awesome. And then just finally, what would you like to tell the athletes that are competing tonight for the big titles?
Man, you've trained hard. You're here. The fans are here. All you have to do is show your skill that you've trained, and you will get the outcome that you want.
Awesome. There you go, Ferdi Basson. We're right here at Desert Storm 4. Please stay tuned. Okay, with me here is Jannie Gous, and we are at Desert Storm 4, happening here at the Jan Wilkins Stadium in Walvis Bay. Now, Desert Storm 4, it sounds like a storm. Kind of is a storm in a cage happening. But Jannie, please tell us, what is Desert Storm all about?
Okay, Desert Storm is the biggest competition of this sort in the Southern Africa, all the SADC countries. It is a competition, Namibian born. It's the 4th one, already been held. We've got 8 countries represented here. We've got 135 fighters who signed up. Yeah, it is awesome. It went over 3 days. Friday it was jiu-jitsu, gi, and then the MMA last night, which was spectacular.
We heard, yes.
And then, of course, today we had the juniors with point fighting this morning, and we will go through with the continuous fights, and tonight will be the full contact fights with 2 title fights. One of the title fights, we've got Martin Nandu against the South African Francois Buys. Is 2 very exciting fighters, 2 powerhouse fighters. You will see later tonight, it's the last fight, and tomorrow we will then end with the no-gi jiu-jitsu. Yeah.
Okay, tell us about this no-gi. This is the first time I'm hearing about it.
Okay, so jiu-jitsu, normally we fight it in like a karate suit. It's just, we call it a gi. It's much thicker and heavier. It's a traditional, where we do a lot of submissions with the gi. And then the no-gi is the same style. It's also jiu-jitsu, but this time you fight without that heavy clothing. You fight with a short and sometimes without a shirt. Only the males, of course, and it's just a much more difficult and faster version of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Ooh, so exciting stuff happening here in Walvis Bay. Now, Jannie, it's Desert Storm 4 now. We've started at Desert Storm 1. How would you say has the journey been thus far?
It's growing. It's growing. We've started very small, went until Desert Storm 3, then COVID came, stopped us for two years, and now we are back. Starting again, maybe just again a little bit smaller than we would like to, but yeah, it's growing every year. We will be here in a few years, Desert Storm 40. Watch the space.
Watch the space. Now, Amiani, how many athletes are competing and who's the youngest and who's the oldest?
Okay, so we've got 135, maybe just 136. I would not know exact, but the youngest is 5 years old. The oldest is 51 years old.
Wow. So it doesn't matter what age you are, just join.
Yes. So also there's different rules to this. So when I say 5 years and 51, there's light contact, which means we don't promote violence and get people injured. And then obviously for the more exciting and more experienced fighters, younger fighters, the 19 years to 40 years old is full contact. That's where the real business happens. So the smaller ones and the older ones, only light contact.
Awesome. Now, I understood that Walvis Bay is quite growing. It's currently the biggest club when it comes to kickboxers. Speaking under correction.
Yes, Walvis Bay, strong, very strong club. Myself is from Swakopmund Club. It's most probably the two strongest clubs in the country, and also the two host clubs, and the big rivals. We are working together as a family, but when it comes to fighting, we fight real.
Yes.
So yes, big clubs. We also want the clubs to grow, and we wish there will be more clubs in the rest of Namibia. We think of Windhoek, we think of Otjiwarongo, Tsumeb. There's talent out there. We want extra clubs.
Awesome. Now, where do you see the future of Desert Storm or kickboxing in general?
Yeah, it's martial arts, kickboxing, MMA, you know, is growing all over the world. It's a very exciting sport. It's a fast-growing sport, and it's picked up tremendously. Yeah, no, there's a future in this. It's currently not it's still amateur. We are not professional yet, but yeah, it will become a professional sport. Awesome. Within the next few years.
And then just finally, your message for the fighters tonight. What would you like to tell them?
The fighters, just do your best. It's not about, we say in our sport, there's no losing, there's only winning or learning. So there's no loser, and just enjoy it.
Awesome. Now I must say thank you, Yanni. We're coming you live, all the way live from Desert Storm 4 here in John Vulcan Stadium, Walvis Bay.
You know, a few weeks ago, I would never do this on a Saturday morning. Back then, I was standing in line all day. Now it's just like that.
You are using the FNB banking app like I told you.
Girl, it saved my weekend. Now I can do all my banking on this.
Payments, transfers, checking statements.
Even opening accounts.
Just like that.
Oh, did I tell you what my husband did?
Even me, I want to save time with the, what's the name of the app?
FNB app.
Don't be left behind. Make the switch to the FNB app, online banking or cell phone banking, and change the way you bank to change your life. FNB, how can we help you?
FNB University of Namibia survived by the narrowest of margin when they won their Namibia Rugby Union Premier League match against FNB Western Suburbs by 32-21 at the Hage Geingob Stadium on Saturday. Both sides scored 4 tries, but it was the students, the team, who emerged victorious to lift the inaugural Ribian Challenge Cup as part of Suburbs' initiative to use the match for promotion of cancer awareness. UNAM scored 3 times to have seemingly comfortable 19-5 lead at halftime, but the Commonwealth team rallied with a determined fight back until the final minute, falling just 1 point short. Enjoy the highlights.
Saturday, the 2nd of July, Premier League Rugby, Western Suburbs versus UNAM Pink Ribbon Challenge, doing it for breast cancer awareness. What a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day for rugby. And this is how the game started. Western Suburbs applying the pressure very, very early. Referee not having it over there. UNAM was swinging the ball very well. Mouton showing some good strength in legs. Looking at this play right here, a little bit of bickering, but that did not deter Western Suburbs continuing to play their game of rugby, which at this point led to the very first try. 5 points on the board for Western Suburbs. Marshall. Marshall over there. Hartum with a beautiful try and the conversion to follow. UNAM had to reply, and they had to reply fast, and boy oh boy did they reply. Look at this beautiful run over there once again, 5 meters away from the Western Suburbs line, right at the corner. Sharif Titus showing his jet shoes and making sure that the try goes over. UNAM found themselves once again back at the Western Suburbs line, and they did not have any try line fever, so to speak. They were moving with confidence, playing a very composed game. And look at this quick pass, Berry Grande to Mouton. Beautiful. Mouton, fresh from Stellenbosch, doing national duty, reminding the lads, that's why I wear that blue and white jersey sometimes. Conversion was good with a little help from the left post over there. Western Suburbs maintaining the pressure. They did not allow the score at any point to become too much of a long-distance relationship, but UNAM was quicker at this point in time, particularly in the first half. UNAM was playing a very dominating game, doing their best to keep that score away from them. That was Cameron Clarkson, and with the kick, Jaron Brandt with the ever so faithful boot throughout this game. Pink Ribbon Challenge. Some good money was won today for Cancer Awareness. Western Suburbs, look at this emphatic try. I was right at the front of that one. That was Diachat, the hooker there, with a beautiful, beautiful try. And a kick to follow. It was a tightly contested game, understandably so. Sticking up once again, Darren Brandt, kicking the ball towards Kleiner Cooper right there. Beautiful view. And then stepping up for Western Suburbs was the captain. Oh, sorry, that's Willemse. Scrum caps got me a little lost over there. Or was that just a little bit of shade? Beautiful scrum. And the scrum turned into a run from the captain. Look at this, evading just about every UNAM jersey in his way with a beautiful, beautiful try. Gino Wilson leading from the front. Captain Fantastic is what they call feats like that. UNAM showing some fantasticness on their end. I don't know if fantasticness is a word, but 5 points on the board. Absolutely happened there. Samuel Kanime with a wonderful, wonderful try, showing some good strength. Stepping up again, Darren Brandt, ever so faithful boot, remained faithful pretty much throughout this entire game. Now stepping up for Western Suburbs with this kick was Ricardo Swartz. Brandt again, he was a busy, busy man. And a busy man with a plan. The plan kept working. Kick with the right boot, kick it between the posts. Swartz with a reply of his own. This bringing Western Suburbs 1 point off UNAM, but not enough for the victory. Western Suburbs 31, UNAM 32. Pink Ribbon Challenge, doing it for Cancer Awareness.
That was fun rugby there. Namibian Media Holdings NTV was there live to cover that match. Remember that the NTV has been covering this Rugby Premier League matches. Going into that match, UNAM was the hot favorites, although Western Suburbs really gave them a run for their money in that one. Remember that UNAM has many or some of its players representing the country on national team duty there, so they had to dig deep and find that victory, and what a sweet victory it was indeed for them there. Spotify is up next, but first we go for a break. Stay tuned. Welcome to That is Spotify, your kiddies program, and the program that covers youth sport. A fun and excitement weekend it was in Mixed Settlement as Soda School of Destiny Associates hosted a youth talk show and a soccer tournament for the young people. The soccer tournament gave the different teams a chance to win, and soccer lovers enjoyed the tournament. 4 teams competed against each other, and the winning team received 1,000, while the second place team got 700, and third place were compensated with 500 for their efforts. Stay tuned for the interview with Uras Kochi.
Hi, my name is Urias Ngoji and I am a SODA member. SODA stands for School of Destiny Associates, and it is a non-profit organization, and we've come up with an initiative called the We Care Project Initiative that was launched last year in 2021, and our initiative, it is in our mandate to host school talk shows and youth talk shows, and as right now we are at Mixed Settlement, we are currently hosting a youth talk show and a soccer tournament. We kickstarted the event with a youth talk show, and we discuss responsibilities and choices, which is part of our initiative. At every event or school talk show or youth talk show, we discuss different values, whether it's self-worth, discipline, perseverance, responsibility, choices. We discuss and we try to engage with the youth. It is for the youth, by the youth. And as for the school talk shows, we partner up with different 7 project schools, just to name a few. Jan Moor, we have Komastura, Korea Hub SS, and basically we go to the schools, we host the school talk shows, which is a panel discussion with the learners. We want them to engage and talk about different values, like I said, whether it's discipline or the importance of responsibilities. And we partner up with different corporates such as MTC, Interpac, NamPower, also the Ministry of Education is also part of it, also our partner. And you know, we just want to reach out to the community. It's very important for us to be active in our community. It's important for us to be active youth. And so, as you can see right now, we have the games that are taking part, and they also are walking away with prizes for the winners. And it's also part of the winter drive. Yesterday we hosted the bonfire, where we had a conversation around the bonfire, and we also had poiki for the community members here at Mixed Settlement. It's a combination of different types, and it's inclusive of everyone. And also for the future, we're hoping to host more talk shows, collaborate with more sponsors, be more active in different communities, reach out to different communities as well.
You know, a few weeks ago, I would never do this on a Saturday morning. Back then, I was standing in line all day. Now it's just like that.
You are using the FNB banking app like I told you.
Girl, it saved my weekend. Now I can do all my banking on this.
Payments, transfers, checking statements.
Even opening accounts. Just like that. Oh, did I tell you what my husband did?
Even me. Even me, I want to save time with the, what's the name of the app?
FNB app.
Don't be left behind. Make the switch to the FNB app, online banking or cell phone banking, and change the way you bank to change your life. FNB, how can we help you?
On Saturday, the National Tennis Association hosted their 3rd senior tournament of the year. In the women's single open, number 1 seeded Amanda van Dijk won this 6-0, 6-3 against Johanniva Besadenhout. Ndeshipanda David put in a world-class performance against second seed Leandre Lowe as she won 6-1, 6-2. We got a few words from Daniel Dutroit, who was the treasurer. Stay tuned.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Daniel. I'm the treasurer for the NTA this weekend, overseeing the games that's taking place. It is a senior tournament, the third one of the year for the men's seniors singles doubles and women's singles doubles as well. So far the tournament's gone very well. In the men's singles, we've got 17 players that are taking part this weekend. We've got a visitor from South Africa, Van Wyk, that's done very well, so he's gone through to the final, playing Risto in the final tomorrow morning at 9, so it's going to be a very exciting final for us. The women's round robin is still on their way, so but it looks like our number 1 seed Amanda will probably proceed also through to the finals tomorrow morning, and it's probably then to one of our upcoming juniors in the ladies. So either seeing a Genevieve or Leandri that will play in the finals in the ladies as well tomorrow. So it's great to see the youngsters coming through. And then the Plate Cup for the men, so there's a back draw for the men's final. That will also be tomorrow against Kendall and Oscar. It's 2 very, very strong players that we're hoping to see to play tomorrow. So yeah, so it's ongoing, it's going very well. We've got a great turnout so far. Yes, and it would be great to get some visitors from now and then. So if you want to come and watch some games tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, we've got some finals, so 4 finals tomorrow morning. Thank you very much.
That is all we had for you here on Spotify, and after the break it will be Ariel Hart with the latest international news. Stay tuned.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, starting off with hockey news. It is the FIH, the Women's World Cup that started. They in 4 groups of 4 teams each, 16 teams in total that qualified for the World Cup that is taking place in the Netherlands and Spain. It is co-hosted by both those countries. Results from the first round robin games is that Belgium beat South Africa by 4-1, and then England and India played to a 1-1 draw. South Korea beat Canada by 3-2, and then it was the Netherlands that was too strong for Germany. The score there was 3-1, and also Argentina that beat one of the hosts, Spain. The score there was 4-1. South Africa in a tough group. All the groups are probably tough, but South Africa need to play still Australia and Japan also in their group, and the next game for South Africa will be against Japan. On to some golf news, and after the weekend's golf, all the tournaments that was played, there was a few changes on the golf rankings. The biggest change was Rory McIlroy that moves up to number 2 in the world. Scotty Scheffler from the USA is still the world number 1, but Rory McIlroy from Ireland, he's up to number 2. He was number 3 in the previous rankings, and he swapped places with John Rahm of Spain, going down to number 3. Southern African interest, it is Louis Oosthuizen that is still the highest ranked Southern African and South African player. He's 22nd in the world now. He was 21. He lost 1 place. And then the biggest gain from the Southern African players would be Christian Besadenhout. He was 75 before the weekend, but he came tied 2nd in the John Deere Classic on the US PGA, and that put him up to number 59 in the world rankings. Players on the Live Invitational Golf Tour, organized by Greg Norman, they don't get any ranking points for the tournaments they're playing. They played in Portland over the weekend, where Brendan Grace of South Africa won the $4 million first prize. There was also, the first tournament was in England, but it was Greg Norman that applied to the World Golf Authorities if tournaments for Live Invitational can be recognized for world rankings. At the moment, it's not recognized for world rankings. It is seen as a breakaway golf league. And now continuing on with cycling news here on international sport, and it is the Tour de France that's taking place at the moment, one of the prestige cycling events in the world, and it was stage 3 that was completed. They're still in Denmark, but they're going into France now in the 4th stage. The 3rd stage in Denmark was from Wyke to the Sonnenberg, that's the 2 towns. It was Dylan Groenewegen, he's from the Netherlands, that won very, very close and a very tight sprint to the finish line. It was actually a photo finish. He won against Wout van Aert of Denmark, and in 3rd place was Jasper Philipsen. He's also from Denmark. So the general classifications at the moment, that was now after the 3rd stage, is Wout van Aert. He is leading. His combined time after the 3 stages is 9 hours, 1 minute and 17 seconds. Just behind him, 7 seconds behind him, is Yves Lampaert. He's in 2nd place, and then 3rd is Tadej Pogacar. He is 14 seconds behind Wout van Aert. So the 4th stage will be going from Denmark into France, and that stage will be from Dunkirk to Calais. Calais is on the west coast of France, and that will be 171.5 kilometers, and it is described as a hilly stage. So it is not lots of mountains, it's just hilly, so probably it will still be the sprinters that will be in front, come to the finish line at the end of the 171.5 kilometers. And now to close off today's international sports news, some soccer news. Transfer news, it's still open for transfers. It's players leaving clubs and joining clubs at the moment. Big news from Manchester United is that Ronaldo indicated that he wants to leave Manchester United. He's still contracted there. He's there for a contract or for a deal close to 90 million US dollars. So it's quite an expensive contract that Manchester United do have. But it is Ronaldo that say that because they didn't qualify for Champions League football in the next season, he wants to look for another club, and is also not happy in the recruitment process of the new coach, Erik ten Hag, at the moment. Not enough strong players coming in, he said. News from Liverpool is that their striker Mohamed Salah from Egypt, he confirmed that he will stay with Liverpool. There was lots of months that was negotiated for his contract, so he will stay another 3 years. He will be a member at Liverpool, or a teammate of all the Liverpool players for the next 3 years up till 2025. That is also the same contract extension that was offered to Jurgen Klopp, the coach. He will also be coach up till 2025. So that's sporting news, international sports news for today. Hope you have a great sporting day and a sport week, and we talk again tomorrow. Goodbye.
Thank you, Ari. Now Sport Rep today brings you a special repeat of our interview with football legend Geros Urikop after some viewers demanded that it should be replayed. From me, Jesse Jackson Kauratha, that is all we had for you, and please enjoy the interview. Goodbye. Sport Rep is joined by a legend of the game, famously known for his powerful shots back in the day. That is Geros Urikop, affectionately known as Vetbien as well. But the man himself is here. Geros, welcome to the show.
Thanks a lot.
You are a very hard man to find, hey?
Yeah.
I've been tracking you down all the way down here in Tsumeb. I'm sure many people still want to know, they still ask questions, where is Geros and all that, but I found him here now, that is in Tsumeb. But before we talk about what is the current happenings in your life right now, we want to talk about the past. You were a very, very formidable player, a dangerous player, with a very, very tough right foot, which was feared by many goalkeepers. I spoke to Marcellus Vetbien the other time, and he said, if I could fear any player, it would be Geros, but we were playing, luckily, I was lucky that we were playing on the same team. So tell us, where did you start your football career, Geros?
First of all, thanks for the opportunity. I started my football career at Chief Sandos. That was way back 1982. I started training with them for 3 years. And my first match was here in Chumep against Tigers Football Club. The likes of Bandike, Grey Umatis, the old people. That time I was only 13 years of age. And I played in someone else's name for that match because they were not taking records. And I was a very young boy. I was not supposed to play there, but I managed to do my tricks.
So you played, you went into the game, and how was it?
It was a very tough game at the beginning, but as the time passed on, I get used to it, and the old people said, leave that boy in the beginning, but after a few minutes they started, hey, take note of that boy.
So
he will kill us.
So
that match I scored 3 goals.
You scored 3 goals?
Yeah, on my first attempt.
So what was so special about that game? Were you scoring from the outside of the box? Or?
Yeah, it was from far. Bandike Okurubi knows it very well.
So he saw that this guy's shot at 13 years. They were probably wondering what's in those legs. So after that, your career, you played for Chief Santos for a number of years. Was there any other club you played for?
I started my career at Chief Santos and ended there. And the other team I played for is the Brave Warriors. That's all.
Okay, before we get to the Brave Warriors, in your days as a Chief Santos player, what game will you remember and say this was the best game I've played in my career for Chief Santos, and against which team was it? I know you played many good games.
The game that I can recall is the 1991 NFA Cup final against Blue Waters that we played 2 times. On that game, the first final, I scored 2 goals. And the second replay, I scored the only one. So and we played 2 times draw and then penalties.
And you were on the score sheet again. And both games. And as a striker or as a player that used to shoot that much, which goalkeeper do you think during your playing days for Chief Santos was somebody close to handling your power? Maybe a keeper that was actually, because most of the keepers feared you anyways.
Yeah, I do have 3. Number 1 is Sparks Gottlieb, and then Ronnie, and then Denzel Brewer. But Marcellus was my teammate, so I can't say anything about him. But he was the best.
Yes.
Yeah.
And always you developing this shot that you had, was it practice or was it just something born within you?
No, I was born with it. No practice.
No practice.
Yeah. I was only trying to be fit. That's all.
I'm sure we used to play back in the days. If there is a guy that has a shot like yours, people will call him by your name, because I think at school, when he has the ball, everyone will just move out and he scores on his own with a soft goal. So was there any time in your career where you just walk with the ball inside because the keeper walk out?
Yeah, sometimes maybe a tap in, but usually I tried my luck from far. Yeah, that was my strongest point.
Okay, going back into Chief Santos, I'm sure there is a match or a fixture that you must have enjoyed most. Every time you wanted to play in that fixture, against which team would that be and why?
Black Africa.
Why would you? Why would that?
I hated Black Africa so much, and I was born the day Black Africa beat Chief Santos in the top 16 here in Chumel. So I hated them a lot.
So whenever you are in that game, you wanted to...
I have to score.
You had to score. Yeah. Any famous game you remember against them?
Yeah, that one was here again. Against Ronnie. He knows. That story he don't want to talk, but he will explain better to you.
So you gave him a bit of a tough time.
against Black Africa, and even the national training were taking chances. Let's try a bit and let's try this and that. And even him, he was giving me that assurance to do better.
To do better as a player.
Yeah.
Fine, you played most of the times. The defenders that you probably didn't want to play against sometimes?
Yeah, that one was Tolly van Wyk and the late Saladiel Njau. Those guys, I don't know whether they were defenders or bullies, but I was afraid to play against them. Every contact, I was injured.
Oh, they were very rough.
Especially in air. Yeah, the aerial balls was it was very difficult for me to beat them.
So you went on, you got your Brave Warriors call-ups, and you played for the Brave Warriors as well. So during these years, can you just explain your journey to the Brave Warriors, how you were selected and at which game, or were you just given a call?
I really don't recall that. All I know is that I was called up on that certain day. So, and I was so surprised. And I said, this is my chance to make my name. But when you wear that jersey of the country, you don't think about money. You just play for your country and out of your heart.
So for the Brave Warriors, any match particular that you want to remember and say that I played this match very well?
Yeah, that one was against Gabon. The one we have to draw to qualify for Burkina Faso. That match was very, very tough, and I was playing all over the field, defensive-wise and attacking, and I am the one who made that penalty scored by Congo, so
you guys can qualify. A very special penalty it was indeed. So is that probably the best game, you would say, that the proudest moment of your football career?
Yes, I can say that.
That was qualifying to Burkina Faso.
And the one in Burkina Faso was the one against the Ivory Coast, that comeback. It was very, very special on my heart.
It was indeed a special moment, even for the fans, Namibian fans. Anyhow, you played with some of the top players. I want to know, who is a teammate that you always regard? I know there are many of them. There were a lot of talented players, but there must be one that you always enjoyed playing alongside, be it Chief Santos or Brave Warriors.
Yeah, at Chief Santos, I had two. Lucky Kakua was the first one. I really had a combination with him. He's the one who made me. So I really liked to play with alongside him. And after Lucky went to Windhoek, then Mohamed Osep came. Then I also formed a combination with him, and it was very, very excellent. And that one, we shifted to the Brave Warriors, and Mohamed was always there with me. So we encourage each other. He's a bit younger than me, but I respect him as a person, and he was also, I learned a lot from him, and he learned also from me.
Yes, Tume players were very formidable in that era of yours. You can name them, many of them that played for, that is the Brave Warriors. And you had a lot of successful years. Right now, I am seeing you are driving a company car. Is it your own company, and what does it do?
No. The company I worked for, the owners of this company, we were together at the other company that closes here in Namibia. Now I'm working for AR Solutions. I'm a LFD, liquid fuel dispenser technician. So I was filling up my car now to be ready for Monday.
Yeah, Monday is going to be a big one. Any word of motivation for the young ones, and what have you contributed to let's say football after retiring? Do you have an academy? Do you coach? Do you do anything part-time?
After retiring, I formed academy along with my wife. So I'm giving back. I'm having a academy here in Chumeb from the age of under 8 up to under 23. The senior team, the under 23s, are playing this local league here in 619 Development League here in Chumeb, and there is another one, MTS. That one is sponsored by Dundee, and we are leading the league.
Oh, as we speak, okay. So, wonderful.
Yeah.
So any words of encouragement to the youth, those that want to be footballers? And
all I can say is sports, any sports and alcohol or drugs are not working together. So let's refrain from drugs and alcohol and focus on what you can do the best. Sports, you can get your salary from there nowadays. They are very lucky to have these opportunities. So let the youth, as parents also, we must encourage our young children to do the best. Keep them away from alcohol and bad friends.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.